Hi everyone, I hope you are really well. It's Bex Planner UK on Instagram, and today I am filming the mid-year journal tag 2021 by LoveLynns'Life, and it's basically a chance to talk about all things journaling. So without further ado, the first question is, what was the best thing about journaling this year? And I think I've really enjoyed using journaling as an excuse not to write my dissertation, which for my masters, journaling is a lot more fun and appealing. So no, but seriously, I just love journaling. I've kept up daily journaling for a long time now, well over a year, as many of you will know. So, and my enthusiasm for it is not waning in any way, shape or form. So I just love journaling because it's something that I look forward to doing at the end of the day. I normally journal late at night, and it helps me to sort out my thoughts and feelings and all sorts. I just think it's a brilliant thing, lots of benefits, and I do get a bit maybe grumpy or feel a bit chaotic and out of control maybe if I don't have a few minutes every day to write in my journal. I don't know if you would understand that, but that's how I feel. So my favourite supplies at the moment, as always, fountain pens. I love writing in fountain pens, so I suppose my trusty fountain pens are what I'm kind of really enjoying on a daily basis. I'm also really enjoying using magazine cuttings at the moment as well, and there's some beautiful magazines out there. So these are just two of them that I have ready to cut up: O Magazine and Recharge. And they always have such beautiful artwork. Even just look at this artwork on the front here, this hot air balloon. So I am really enjoying using those. I've also bought some secondhand books recently, some gardening books actually, and they have some really pretty images in them in terms of plants and so forth. So I've quite enjoyed cutting them up, and I've obviously not felt too guilty because they were secondhand and cheap and quite a cost-effective way of decorating my journal. So what new things have I been doing in my journals or journaling in the last 6 months? One thing that I'm trying to do more of is more stream of consciousness type writing, like morning pages, although I always do it in the evening, but that's something that I think I should do more of, and just kind of that free flowing stream of writing rather than specifically writing about a topic or what I did during the day or noting something down. I think I should just kind of let my subconscious kind of dictate what comes out onto the page, and I think I should do that a bit more often. I have done that a little bit in the past, but unfortunately I've never kept up like a daily habit. I know a lot of people do it like in the morning at like 5 a.m. or something, so but having 3 kids, that's quite chaotic in the morning, so that's not going to happen. So yeah, maybe that's something that I will do more, hopefully going forwards as well. What am I looking forward to journaling about this year? I think the thing that I love about journaling is just anything that's on my mind, or anything that I want to write about or that inspires me, interests me, ends up in my journals. So yeah, I can't see that changing really. I think obviously I hope that going forward, if things improve in terms of the pandemic, that life will get a bit more back to normal somehow, and obviously I hope that there'll be a lot more kind of trips and social occasions and things that I'll be journaling about, but who knows, in this topsy-turvy world it's still a little bit upside down, isn't it? So But let's see, let's hope. What have I stopped doing or journaling about? Now, I know a lot of people that have participated in the tag have said that they're not really talking about COVID as much, but I kind of maybe book that trend because I am still journaling about COVID every day. That's how I generally start my journal pages. I will just note down the case rate, I'll note down the death rate, I will note down the time that I'm writing, and then I will note down some of the headlines that have caught my eye that are significant or interesting, or some research maybe that's come to light. And I use the journal history hashtag, or I sometimes use that. And that initially was how I started kind of documenting my journaling for like over the period of a year. That was what kind of, you know, I did religiously and documented religiously every day on Instagram for a long time, for a year in fact. So yeah, although some days, very occasionally, I won't write about the pandemic, and some days it's very little that I write about the pandemic, I am still keeping this up. And I think it's just, for me, it's like that transition between sitting down and journaling, and it gives me a structure to kind of write that first of all. And, you know, it might only take a few minutes, it might take 15 minutes, if there's a lot of news perhaps that really interests me. And that then is the bridge to then writing about maybe my day and going on to write about anything that's on my mind or anything that I want to talk about. So that really works well for me, kind of having that structure. Obviously, I hope there'll be a day when, you know, I don't need to write about COVID every day, but at the moment there's still so much in the UK that's coming out, and I am quite selective about what I write about, but I feel that it is quite important to me to have that record. So yeah, so that's maybe boring to everyone else, maybe everyone else is over that. I've picked up a lot of people aren't writing about it anymore, but for me it still feels important somehow. So what surprised you about your journaling? I suppose just how kind of almost dependent I am on it. Dependent maybe isn't the right word. It's just something that I really do value doing every day. And even as we go back to normal life and so forth, I just hope that I will continue this, you know, throughout my lifetime, really. So it's not an issue, obviously, if I don't journal, but I just feel better about myself if I do journal. So I think hopefully a lot of people watching this might understand that. So the next question is, what is your favourite journal you finished this year? And so these are the journals that I've finished so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm in my 7th journal. My favourite journal. That's a hard one, actually. I've loved working in each of them. I did quite like working in this smaller journal, purely because it was quite satisfying that it filled up so quickly, because it had much less pages than I normally work with. So going forward, maybe I will try different sizes and different page numbers and thickness. So this maybe ties into the question that is coming up, which is your favourite cover on a finished journal from this year? I think, and there's lots of pretty journals here, isn't there? So that was quite cheery with the flowers. This one, Wonder Woman, which is a real soft feel journal. It feels really lovely. So I quite enjoyed that as well. Quite a plain patterned one. This one I think is quite stunning. This is like a fabric one. But I would say that my favourite journal covers are probably one of these two. I really, really love this one. It's got like the gold foiling and the lilies, which is my favourite flower. And I also like this one though, because it is so unusual, isn't it? So the colours and the kind of detail that's included within it. I do quite like that. And I did really enjoy this one because it was blank pages as well, which really appealed to me. So, oh, this is a hard one. I think that, yeah, I'd probably choose this one though, I think, because it is just so stunning. I do really like flowers. I like all the colours. I like the detail of it. So maybe this one here. Okay, which YouTubers inspire you lately? Brilliant. I love watching anyone on YouTube that journals, whatever way, shape or form that may be, whether it's using a Fibonacci, creative journaling, just writing in their journals, or planner videos, anything like that. I love watching, and I can't find enough content to keep me kind of satisfied, because I don't really watch television. And when I do go on YouTube, probably like once a week, and have like a binge watching session of all the content that I can find. I'm always searching and coming up with the same videos. So if you have a channel that, you know, is anything related to those topics, please do let me know in the comments below, because I would love to find some new people to subscribe to and to watch their content. That would be fantastic. But the YouTubers that I do really enjoy, obviously LoveLynns'Life, which who started off this tag. I really, really love Journal with Dolly. I love her Hull accent. I'm from over that side of the country, from Yorkshire, so it makes me smile. And I think she is just really unique and funny and entertaining, and obviously her pages are beautiful. So I have also found a couple of new YouTubers recently that I've come across. Dabbling in Journals, Freckled Fox, Scrapbooking, Pretty Paper Pics and Journaling, and I Talk to Notebooks as well, which I came across and watched a few videos last night because of a mention in Paperworm's video. So that kind of prompted me to go and check out that channel, and I really liked her kind of style and the way that she talks about journaling as well, rather than just showing journal pages. She actually talks about topics that interest me, so hopefully I'll get to watch some more of her content. So yeah, please do put your channel details in the comments below. I'd quite like to start a list of everyone that produces YouTube videos about journaling, and obviously share that with people. So if you want to maybe add it into the comments, maybe that's something that I can start and share with everyone. That would be really useful, I think, wouldn't it? Because it is quite difficult sometimes to find videos on YouTube if you don't know what you're looking for. The search terms, the search engine, I don't think is always as powerful as it should be, maybe for smaller YouTubers. So maybe that would be really helpful to do that. So what is your journaling routine? Well, as I kind of mentioned earlier, I generally journal on an evening after all the children are in bed. It can often be quite late at night if I'm working on my dissertation and so forth. So maybe, you know, it will be 11 o'clock or midnight and I'm journaling. And generally, you know, sometimes I'll only spend 5 or 10 minutes journaling. But obviously I do really like it as a way to relax. So quite often I'll spend maybe half an hour journaling before I go to bed. And that is my routine. Occasionally I will kind of snatch another kind of period of time to journal, but that's on quite an ad hoc basis. So maybe sometimes on a weekend morning, on a Saturday or a Sunday, if we're having like a slow start to the day, I sometimes get a chance to write a little bit then, or I'll maybe take my journal with me if I'm going somewhere like on public transport, or when I had my first COVID jab, I took my journal with me, or if I'm going away somewhere or on a trip somewhere, then I will take my journal with me if there's any small chance that I might have a chance to write. But I also do have a small journal that I carry around with me just to make some notes really quickly and kind of messily. And sometimes I will note things that I want to journal about at a later date in that little book. Last question, what are you going to focus on for the rest of the year? Any goals? I just hope that I will keep making the time to journal every day, even though it's going to be kind of busy finishing off my dissertation and handing that in, which is due on the 1st of September. But I still hope that I can make the time to journal because it helps me with my studies and sorting out my thoughts in that way as well. So I hope that I can keep it up, or at least every few days at the very least that I will find a time to journal. So, and I think that's quite important. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to me rant on about my journals and journaling. Thank you to LoveLynns'Life for suggesting this tag. Thank you to everyone that has posted videos, and I'll be looking out for more videos getting posted. But again, please put them in the comments in case it doesn't show up in the search engine algorithm. And yeah, happy planning, happy journaling. Take care, everyone. Bye.